I'm visiting this morning with Joanna Kale. Joanna, you're the Executive Director for Wyoming PBS Foundation. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm excited and proud to be here.
So today we're talking a little bit about WyoGives, which is an exciting time for the state of Wyoming because it's the first time we're embarking on a 24-hour online day of giving for nonprofits statewide. I know here in Cheyenne, nonprofits are super excited. So how are you all feeling about WyoGives?
Oh, we're feeling great. We're up here in Riverton. Of course, we're the only statewide public television station in Wyoming. And I think it's high time, number one, for us to have an opportunity for Wyomingites to give to nonprofit organizations specifically. I think Giving Tuesday, while an incredible effort nationwide, I think Wyomingites like to give to our own. And so, Kathy, I was so excited when Wyoming Nonprofit Network announced that they were creating this because I think especially right now, especially given what we're all going through right now, and times are changing and we're all being asked to reduce our budgets, philanthropy and support of Wyoming nonprofits is essential. So you guys are basically setting up the mechanism to, for us and for our purposes, help preserve the stories of Wyoming and tell the stories of Wyoming. So we're very excited to be partners and be a part of this. I think it's going to be beneficial.
So let's talk a little bit about the PBS Foundation. I'd like to know, I know people see it, the branding is incredible, visually, we're all we're wrapped in. Tell me a little bit about what your foundation does and the importance it is for our communities and just statewide in general.
Of course. Wyoming PBS is the nonprofit mechanism that supports Wyoming PBS, the station. So while we're an independent 501c3, our mission is to gather funds and support for the station. And in the end, what that means is the support that we provide them is preserving the history, telling stories of Wyoming, in a way that no other network in the state of Wyoming does from a visual standpoint. We do programs on history. We just did State of Equality, which celebrates 150 years of women's suffrage in Wyoming. We recently did a film on glaciers of the Wind Rivers that talks about the recession of some of the biggest glaciers in the lower 48 up here right behind us in our back door here in Fremont County. And it talks about what that means for ranchers, agriculture, what that means for our future. We also do it on arts and culture. We just received 6 Emmy nominations for our programs this year from Heartland. So our sole job at Wyoming PBS Foundation is to keep those stories developed and keep those creative juices flowing with our very talented production team at Wyoming PBS.
So we have many nonprofits across the state on this bandwagon for WyoGives. Why did Wyoming PBS Foundation decide to participate in WyoGives this year?
It's the first year for an exciting initiative that really, as I keep saying, Wyoming PBS is the only public television station in Wyoming. This is the first time any organization has put together one website on one day to support all 501c3 nonprofits across the state of Wyoming. So we jumped on the bandwagon because we see the uniqueness of that. We see the opportunity of that. First time. This is the first time, and I think it's a technological mechanism that is happening in states across the U.S., and we're just excited Wyoming finally has one and we can participate.
And Joanna, we sort of talked on it briefly, but now more than ever, especially with the COVID-19 crisis, nonprofits throughout our state need dollars more than ever. I know you have an incredible donor base, but what message would you like to send to donors and even maybe more importantly, potential new donors on why they should give to your foundation July 15th through WyoGives fundraising?
You know, Kathy, nonprofits across the state, I know I said it earlier, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we need the assistance more than anything. Nonprofits are the organizations that are doing the hard work out there to help us. Just as Governor Gordon mentioned in a spot I recently watched, it's helping us heal. it's helping us get through these times. These organizations are an essential part of our communities, an essential part of our economies. It's important because there were some conversations. I think, well, there was some debate on whether or not to include nonprofits in some of these relief funds that are coming out. And which of course just broke my heart, because I know the work that nonprofits do, not just mine, but nonprofits across the state. The initiative that I know Jenny Gordon has with feeding the hungry across the state, right now more than ever, that's an incredible initiative. So I would say, we have an incredible base of donors and members that support Wyoming PBS, and I would encourage you to support Wyoming PBS and all nonprofits in Wyoming. Because without us, and especially without Wyoming PBS, arts, culture, exposure to those things in our awesome small Wyoming state, we don't have all the arts and culture right out our back doors like they might have in metropolitan areas. We provide that. That's why you support Wyoming PBS. And not only do we provide it nationally, but we capture that locally. And there's no other network that does that. So that's why I would encourage you to support Wyoming PBS on WyoGives.org on July 15th.
Joanna, we wish you the best of luck. We're hoping that this will be an annual event for the state of Wyoming. So best of luck to you and the foundation on July 15th.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you so much for creating this opportunity for us. We are excited and we have a really good feeling about it.